Hello everyone, welcome back to another reaction video, and today we are back with Arthur TV. We have Roommates from Hell. I'm assuming another little Reddit video. I like these videos a lot. Let's get into it, shall we?
Right, so hello.
Also, I've seen that who is it? It's Arthur, Batch, and George. They've got a new channel together, right? They've got a new group forming. Friends from work or something, I think. So, in the near future, hopefully some more reaction. Well, I mean, we get a reaction video a day still, but some more content to react to. Very fun. Let's go.
Welcome back to another Nightmare Roommates video. Prepare to have your blood boiled in a pot that's going to be left by the sink for the next 6 months, getting moldy because your roommate won't clean it up. So let's just jump straight into it. All right, first up, I don't know how a human being could willingly subject themselves to these conditions. Oh, right off the rip, brown toilet.
Oh my
brown
God.
Everything. That is disgusting. Why is everything so grubby? Like this kind of like dirty, filthy toilet I've seen before, but the cabinets being like...
So I've not really ever had a roommate. So I live with Meg, obviously, but we're not roommates. We're together. I've never had a roommate. I went straight from living with family to living by myself, and then my next place is here with Meg. So I've never been subjected to this kind of thing before, but bro, even this, like, it's so, like, just fucking get a clean wipe. That's literally all it is, and just wipe it down a bit. Obviously, put some bacterial spray, all that kind of shit on, because you don't know what the fuck is going on there. But even just for aesthetic reasons, just get a little cloth. It's done. It takes like a minute.
Black? Is this the house of like a mechanic or a fireman or a black tar heroin maker? No toilet roll. Maybe that's what the brown stuff is everywhere. Dookie smear staining splashback. Blech. Oh, and look at the shower as well.
Oh, I can't.
It's so
that's
grim.
vile.
It's everywhere. It's a really weird kind of like muckiness. It's such a like black, oily, grubby. Oh, what is this? After they've moved out? Is this what's been left behind by a nightmare tenant? What does the context say? I don't know how the hell he does it. I've lived with a few men before, many of whom struggled with cleanliness and order, but this is a whole new low. I knew it was bad when he'd walk around the house with black residue from his work,
so it
all
is
the way up to his elbows.
From his
I knew
work.
it was from his work, but what? As for the sections of the doors that face the hallway, I cleaned semi-regularly just because of how much black residue he left everywhere.
Bro, it's a chimney sweep.
My partner and I are seeing how awful and gross he is after leaving our rental. We're deeply concerned about letting him rent a room in our house. If it was up to me, he'd be gone because he's gross, and living with him activates all my pet peeves. He's a gross, dirty man. He's renting a room in your house and leaving it looking like this. Kick him out. But he's my fiance's friend, so I try not to be too harsh. At least my partner has reassured me that if he can't clean up at the house, he'll be gone.
Okay.
I refuse to let our guest bathroom become such a nightmare. I feel like I need a shower after walking in there, but not the shower in the bathroom because it's disgusting. First of all, what is wrong with you? Letting someone in your house make your place this dirty? Why have you not intervened before this? And secondly, what is wrong with the person who lives there doing this?
In terms of the first statement he made, I can, again, I've not lived with anyone before other than Meg. I can imagine it's so hard to bring that up at home though, because you're at home, you want to relax, you don't want to have to worry about stress or anxiety or anything like that, right? I can imagine you notice it at first when it first happens, and you go, "Oh, it's a little bit annoying. Hopefully, he cleans it up." And then it gets a little bit worse each time, and gets gradually worse until it gets to a point where it seems like she's at now, where you get to that breaking point. I don't blame her for not, or blame them for not saying anything before, but good on the friend, the partner who's friends with them, for at least going, okay, no, yeah, this is bad. We, like, if he's not clean soon, he's gone. That is a tough situation as well. But I do respect them saying that. you know?
Oh, here, is he a welder or mechanic? Those marks are crazy. Oh my great goodness.
He's a
He works as a
diesel
diesel mechanic.
mechanic.
Although Clorox wipes do the trick on the black marks and Cherry Bomb Agent Orange does the trick on black hands. Okay, but why is he not washing his black hands before coming into your home? Bad
Yeah.
enough doing it to your own home, but to someone else's is just wild. So disrespectful. I mean, what? It sounds like they're kind of like renting a house together already, and they're considering moving to a house, like buying a place and letting this person continue living with them. Insane. And he's your partner's friend as well. Your partner needs to grow a backbone and say something. A
Well,
friend
by
who
the
does
sounds
this
of
to
it,
your
he
house does
has.
not respect you. Oh my goodness.
But no,
Alright,
I do
next.
agree with him.
I'm seriously losing my shit. It doesn't seem fair to me that you moved in and decided that we can't stack dishes how we previously did, but you can keep a large portion of the counter for your machine. All right, what's the context here?
What?
He's talking about stacking dirty dishes on the counter. Also, my espresso machine is one of the slim/small ones, and it sits at the edge of the counter with a tin of fresh coffee on the side. It does not use up more than 1/8 of the space. Him and the other roommate have been complaining that I put their dirty dishes in the sink, but I need space to cook. I can't be cutting vegetables or kneading on the kitchen table, right? Yeah.
So the other person is pissed off that they're putting the plates in the sink. What? I feel like I've missed something
Yeah,
here.
I mean, the kitchen counter is for the machines, not
Yes.
dirty dishes. Why are your roommates stacking dirty dishes by the sink anyway? I feel like every now and then, like if you're in a massive rush, it's forgivable if you just send a message to your roommate like, oh, by the way, you know, had to shoot off for class, didn't have time to tidy up from breakfast, won't let it happen again, I'll tidy them when I'm back. You
Yeah.
get that kind of message and you're like, well, it barely ever happens, fine, don't worry about it. Or, I got it. But as a habit, being like, oh, I'm going to finish up my dinner and leave the dirty
Whack it
pots, pans
next
and
to
plates
the sink.
by the side of the sink on the counter, and you're gonna have to wash them eventually. Why not just wash them then? I feel like, again, if you're living with people, leaving your dirty plates and stuff on the side is just disrespectful. I don't think you should be putting them in the sink. I think you should be messaging them being like, guys, why have you guys just left it as a mess? What do the comments say? You don't need space to cook, you need new roommates because there's 2 of them and 1 of you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're right, because
Still
you're
gonna
still
be
going to be the
the-
one that's
yeah.
not included in the next lease. Taking up 1/8 of the counter permanently for the espresso machine is honestly a pretty significant chunk of space. I guess it depends what the
to
other
be fair,
set.
an eighth is. It does make it sound like a lot, but I can just imagine that it's not the biggest kitchen. It's probably one of these ones where you've got like a quite a narrow walkway and you've got like counters on the side and at the end. It's probably something like that. And honestly, this is the thing though. They probably all use the machine. I can almost guarantee it. They probably all use the machine. So I don't think that's even
An eighth is doing. If
consideration.
all of that is empty, does it really matter? But if it's kind of crammed with like toasters, bread bins, kettles and stuff, that's kind of valid. Anyway, that said, stacking dirty dishes on the counter and leaving them for any significant length of time is ridiculous and gross. Agreed, both parties are wrong here. While I'm firmly team clean up and put your damn dishes away immediately, you slob. If OP argued that they couldn't stack the dishes because it took up space on the counter, then they can't simultaneously permanently take up 1/8 of the space on the counter for their own items. That was not the argument I made at all when he said that. He countered with a space argument. My argument was about cleanliness. We have a flies and maggots problem, and to use the countertop, I have to clean it thoroughly every time.
Oh
It's
yeah, no,
not
fuck that then. Like, irregardless of the 1/8 of space being taken up by the espresso machine, that's fucking vile.
fair at all. Flies and maggots. Like, I mean, okay. I feel like the obvious thing is it's like gross and disrespectful to leave your plates on the side. How are the people that are doing it not bothered about the flies and maggots? How are people just okay with living in those conditions? It's so bizarre. Move the espresso machine to a coffee table in your bedroom. Get a Brita, refill it for yourself once daily. Protect your peace. It's not worth it to spend months with angsty, barely not teenagers. Yeah, if you've got room, that's valid.
That's
or
true.
buy a little table for it in the kitchen if there's room. But I feel like that's a pretty minor problem compared with the flies and maggots being caused by these people not washing up. If it kept happening as
that's
well, I'd
fucking
genuinely consider
vile.
doing something like dropping it in their room. Just being like, hey, by the way, there were 3 empty plates and they were attracting maggots, so I put them on your desk in your room. And then if they turn around,
Never do that. That's when it starts to get into petty roommate warfare. Never stoop down to that level. Sure, they are gross and disgusting. That it just takes it to a whole different level that honestly is so unnecessary. Like, I get that it's going to be so frustrating with, well, if they just don't get any better, but at that point is when you look to like move out. I don't agree with what Arthur said there. I'll
And
be
they're like,
honest.
oh, that's gross. Why the hell have you put maggots in my room?
I get
Be
the
like, you're
point,
attracting maggots in the kitchen where we all eat. At least if it's
but
in your room, you're the only one suffering as a result of your actions. Oh, but I mean, then you're just starting war. You just
yeah,
need to
there we
move out.
go.
If
Yeah,
it's at
yeah.
all possible, just move. All right, next. Roommate calls the cops on us over and over again because we stopped letting him use our stuff. So this is half a roommate horror story
gotta
and half an am
share.
I the a-hole. Me, a 23-year-old guy, and my fiance, a 22-year-old woman, are both in our final semester of college, and we have lived in our current house for over 2 years. We initially moved in with a friend, a 22-year-old woman, but she graduated last spring, and this year we brought in another roommate, a 21-year-old guy, that we met but weren't very close with. We're extremely clean people and made it very clear from the moment we were discussing him moving in that we had a pretty clear definition of overall clean and how we divvied up those chores amongst our previous roommate. We had been living together for nearly 4 years now, so we've curated a lot of home essentials and common area things, and he was coming from a dorm. We from the start had no issues having him use any of our cutlery, our dishware, appliances, or anything else one would have in a common area. The final thing we agreed on was due to one of our cats, we have two, being disabled and not able to defend herself, so we asked that he not get any animals before moving in. He didn't have any, but we wanted to make that a point because it was an issue with our previous roommate and we didn't want to do that again. So now we fast forward to the 6-month mark. Long story short, he's a hoarder. His room very quickly became difficult to even traverse due to the amount of stuff he has and his overall discontent with even organizing, let alone cleaning. And for the no cats request, that lasted about 2 weeks before he came home from work one day with a cat carrier in hand. No discussion, just total disrespect to our requests. He also is extremely unhygienic, from leaving feces on the toilet seats to
On the
leaving rotting
seat!
food sit in his pressure cooker for well over 3 months. We started developing health issues. She and I both developed asthma and get chronically sick very frequently. We tried on several occasions to ask him to be better with cleaning up after himself, and even asked him to replace cookware he neglected, either during cooking, for example using hot pads on an open flame grill, charring them, or during cleaning, for example using copper scrubbers on aluminium pans. We always try to be very understanding as he has depression and anxiety, and we know that sometimes cleaning isn't always fun, but always let him know that we were able to help or guide him whenever he needed. But at the end of the day, we weren't his maids. Well, these last...
Now, I understand the reference to depression and anxiety when it comes to this, but saying that we get it because cleaning isn't fun. So like paying bills isn't fun. Going to work isn't fun. There's still things you have to fucking do, right? I mean, I have depression and anxiety, and I get that sometimes it stops you from being able to do certain things. But how long? They said like 6 weeks, right? It's 6 months that they've been living together now. I I don't have that issue. I take the bins down. I do my part. That I don't like that as an excuse because it gets used way too frequently. It basically nullifies the actual issues with depression and anxiety when people use that as an excuse for like everyday life. I don't like it, and the fact that he's a hoarder as well. I would say I'm somewhat of a hoarder myself, but I will never understand. And again, everyone's brain works differently, so it's not that I don't get how people are like it. It just doesn't compute to me in my brain. I have to have things in at least some sort of order. So sometimes my office or my room isn't the tidiest, don't get me wrong. But everything has its place. Like I've got a whole stack here of stuff. Again, not the tidiest, but everything has its own area. There isn't just like, it's not hard to traverse because I've got so much shit. Everything is in its place, you know? And I don't understand how people are a hoarder but not at least tidy. You know? Weird to me, but anyway.
Last couple of weeks have been the beginning of the end. As we got past the end of finals in December, we sat down with him and had a lengthy conversation about things needing to change due to our health and sanity. We basically had informed him that if something didn't change in the near future, we would have to discuss future living arrangements. We came to the
fair.
agreement of helping him start fresh by deep cleaning his room and getting on a cleaning schedule so that everyone knows what's expected of
I
them.
like that.
We listen and we don't judge.
Sure.
His room was a literal biohazard. His cat's litter box was full, and any
didn't
scoopings were
even
thrown
think
in
about
an
that.
open trash in his room. His cat was marking, and the room smelt like it. The house had radiant heat, and his cat was pooping, peeing, and kicking his litter into the radiators, causing the smell to just bake into the house. Then there was the vomit stain. He had
What?
an emergency vomit incident. We've all been there in our 20s at some point. But he had thrown up on the carpet in his room. This was like 3 months ago, by the way. And he used our vacuum to clean it up. Safe to say, when that initially happened, we made him buy us a new vacuum and asked him to please ask us about using stuff if he isn't sure if what he's doing will ruin something. But what we didn't know was that he never shampooed the carpet and just threw a blanket over it. It was glued to the carpet, and we spent probably 7 hours cleaning and organizing his room for him.
Fucking
wow,
hell.
you went above and beyond.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
They
How is
effectively
he
have a
sleeping in
child, have a
hot
21-year-old
vomit,
child at this
cat poo and peeing, goodness knows what else room? That is a biohazard. Actually, just can't believe he's alive and well. He's a miracle of science. Anyway, now we fast forward to last week. It gets worse. We were starting to get a little frustrated again by him leaving very gross messes around the house again, and asked to have a conversation with him when he found time. Also, his end of our agreement was not being met. He decided from this moment going forward that he was going to completely avoid us. His room has a door that exits out the building, so he was just going out his back door and walking around the property to his vehicle, rather than walking through the common spaces where we might confront him about this. My fiance had purchased a lot of common goods we all use, toilet paper, paper towels, etc. And she put the text in our shared chat showing the bill and letting us know how much everyone was expected to contribute. And for some reason, this was a declaration of war for him. Even as I'm writing this, I do not know why he was so against just talking to us, but I've not spoken or heard a reply from him since then. I'd be curious what the housemate said, like
Yeah.
the tone they spoke to him at, how reasonable they were being. Again, one-sided, and it sounds like they're probably on the right side, but I'd be interested to know how the housemates saw this whole thing. Well, we, after being patient for 6 months, decided that we were no longer going to allow him to walk all over us.
I mean,
we
6
removed
months
everything
is a
from the common
stretch.
spaces that
Fuck
was ours.
me.
Microwave, couches, TVs, all of our kitchenware, anything we paid for. What did you do with the couches? We let him know via text that we were going to be removing everything from the common spaces, as if no one can clean them, then no one is going to use those spaces. This sent him over the edge. Every day there's been police at our house. Claims of us threatening him, abuse,
I forgot all
harassment,
about
you
the
name
start
it.
of this, yeah.
We've literally started the process of moving out because we can't do this anymore. Today he stole one of our packages and had the local police come to our place and ask us questions for over an hour. As soon as we show them photos of conversations or any of the times he's destroyed our stuff, they leave and say they'll talk to him. So I guess I come here because I have no idea what to do. Our management agency won't get involved, and neither will the police on our behalf. They'll come here and harass us if he calls, but if we do, they don't do anything. Any advice would be beneficial. We live in Minnesota, by the way, and we don't want to have to pay hundreds of dollars to break our lease to leave. Wow, that is
that's
a
such
nightmare
a
scenario.
shit
This is the kind of
situation.
thing that I think everyone worries about when it comes to confronting a bad roommate. They've been like, you know what? If you can't keep our stuff tidy, you're not going to use it. We're going to keep it to ourselves. And that starts a war. And when you live with someone, that's just the last person you want to be at war with.
Yeah.
People that live inside your own home and can cause a nuisance with noise and smells and piss on your plates in the sink and shove your toothbrush up their butt and all that kind of stuff. Just the kind of thing you'd be lying in your bed at night just being like, I just can't
experience.
get the idea out of my head that my toothbrush smelled a little bit like dookie. I'm literally at war with someone who lives in this house, and I think I brush my teeth with butt bristles, and my orange juice tastes like piss, and my shower gel's gone milky. You just cannot do it. You
Where did all of that come from?
need that peace in your own home, which sadly is why I think people tolerate way too much in a
Yeah.
roommate relationship.
I mean,
One of the
again,
comments-
it comes to a point of being at war with your roommate is the last thing on earth you could want. You could have a shit day at work, like a really shit day at work, and then knowing you're coming back to a hostile environment, would send me over the edge. And yeah, I don't blame people for not wanting the fight or the argument, but someone said it in a comment earlier. You've got to fucking protect your peace, no?
Say, in Minnesota, you can break a lease due to safety issues. If you get you and your girlfriend's doctor to write a note to your landlord saying that the other person he leased to is causing safety issues in the home, then your landlord might not have a lot of options. I don't know if he'd let you guys leave or if he would kick out your roommate, but theoretically, you are not obligated to fulfill a lease that is unsafe for your health. Using the police to harass you guys would probably fall under that category as well. Yeah, we're both going to our campus doctor for that today to maybe get that in writing. Your landlord is going to be pissed about the cat peeing poo all over his bedroom and in the house. Can you break the lease without affecting him? I know it's not always financially possible, but if you can make it work, I suggest doing that. I'd be happy to lose $500 instead of living any longer in a cat pee house. That is, yeah, a price worth paying if you can afford it. The other option is to find a subletter. I've seen a handful of posts in this sub where someone had a nightmare roommate, and to get out, they found a subletter who was just as much of a nightmare as the roommate. Find another man who has like 3 cats and doesn't like cleaning or cooking, and they'll get along very well together. The funny part is they know. We told the landlord about this months ago.
Oh.
They do not care. How can you not care that your nice carpet or wooden floors or whatever just getting drenched in cat piss?
I guess because you can keep the deposit. Maybe if they completely fuck up the room, you can keep the deposit. Use some of that to get it cleaned. It probably wouldn't be as much money as you'd probably technically make profit off of keeping the deposit. Maybe that's why. That's genuinely the only reason that I can think of it working.
That is just the ultimate nightmare scenario, isn't it? Pretty much just like the worst thing that can happen with your roommate, just being at total war with them. Well, hopefully they got that doctor's note and it worked, because they need to get the hell out of there. All right, next. Dude fights me because I told him to clean his room. Dog, you can't be leaving trash in someone else's house like this, bro. What are we doing, dude? Oh, they got MetaQuest and it's a bunch of food takeaway stuff. I mean, not the worst I've seen, but still pretty bad. Especially given this is food and drink as well. That's the kind of stuff that stinks and causes ants and rats and stuff. Did you clean it up? Hell nah, that's your mess. Do they know? Bro, why does that even matter? Just clean it up next time you come. I asked a question. Do they need to know for you to clean up after yourself? What type of logic is that? I asked a question, that is it. Dog, just clean up after yourself. You're a grown man, dude. Are you going to answer the question? Stand on this moral ground. And do you have dyslexia? Why does it take 5 years to type out a message? What moral ground? You shouldn't be leaving trash in other people's houses, dog. Literally, what does this even have to do with you being a grown-ass man and cleaning up after yourself? Holy shit, Yap, and answer the question I asked. It's not a hard question, yes or no. Oh, people like this are insufferable and also, you're never getting anywhere. Just answer the question, I think. Just placate them so that you can be done with it. Is it hard to clean up after yourself, yes or no? Holy shit, answer it. You're not my mum or dad. Wrong, you're. This roommate keeps getting worse. What does that have to do with cleaning up after yourself?
What is this, by the way? I'm really confused what this little bit is.
Bro. Answer, I'm not your bitch. I never said you were, bro. I literally just told you to clean up after yourself. Oh, and it's not just a dude, it's his brother.
Yeah,
and I asked the question that's being ignored. It's a simple answer. If I put it in a rude way, then that's deserved. You do this all the time. Grown man, you shouldn't have to be told by your younger brother.
Oh, I think this is an editing mistake. I think that's meant to be over that and then over that or something. So it kind of,
to pick up after yourself. Holy yap, I'm not your soldier, I'm me. I asked a question, you're being an asshole. How hard is it to answer? Oh, this is actually getting painful to witness. Just answer the man. And I mean, he's definitely being incredibly difficult.
Both, the guy who hasn't cleaned is obviously in the wrong. But why not at this point just answer? If that's all they're saying and you're not getting an answer to your questions, just answer their fucking question. Then they have nothing else that they can say. Both are pissing me off now.
But just swallow your pride. It's actually such a tough watch. How am I being an asshole? First thing you asked is if I cleaned it up and if anyone found out. That's got to be the scummiest response ever, dude. I asked because I was going to clean it and wondered if you did it already or not. And I just asked if anyone knew so I can just fix it. Holy shit, no one asked you to clean shit. You can literally come fix it whether anyone knows or not. I mean, okay, I see that you're just a...
This guy does have a point. He didn't ask him to clean it. He just said, did you clean it? I understand. Tone matters. But this is where I fucking hate texting. Because you can never read someone's tone. If it's like I don't suppose you cleaned it, did you? If not, fine. If you say all of that, did you clean it? If not, cool. I'll clean it later. Just checking. Say all of that, fine, but did you clean it on its own? A bit presumptuous, no?
Dick, this is going nowhere.
So
You
both
shouldn't
points,
be leaving that much trash there anyways. You shouldn't be trying to duck
both
shame.
of them are bell ends.
What?
I'm
trying
bored
to
of this
duck
one.
shame. Like avoid. Okay, I get what he's saying. I thought he was going like, you shouldn't be trying to dick shame. Like he just randomly. I was like, did I miss a message where he's like, your dick's tiny, bro? But okay, that makes sense. It's shameful and dickish to leave trash in someone else's house that's keeping you while you're on leave. Come clean this shit up instead of texting me about it. Yeah, this is just a classic toxic sibling relationship, isn't it? Oh, okay, in this context. So I, an 18-year-old guy, went into boot camp for the Marines on August 25th to December 12th. And my brother, 19, went to boot camp for the Air Force July 10th to August 30th, I think. Then went through tech school and came back for leave on the night of December 22nd. He has to leave again on January 5th, and I have to leave again on January 13th. We both had to stay in my mum's 2-bedroom apartment, which he shares with 2 other people, so it was cramped. And out of respect for my brother's leave being way shorter than mine and the house being cramped, I slept at my girlfriend's crib and spent most of my time there. My mum was begging me to come home for New Year's, and I didn't really want to because I don't like my brother, since he was a disrespectful, lazy slob when I left. But out of respect for her, I went to celebrate New Year's and eat her cooking and spent the night. Yeah, we can tell that you and your brother do not get along. Well, immediately when I walk into the room he and I am supposed to share, I see trash just littered all over the desk. So rightfully I'm frustrated, and definitely rightfully so, because not only is my mother and her roommates letting us stay here when it's already so cramped, but she's letting us have her room while she sleeps in the living room. He used to do this all the time in the past, and I have pictures of just how disgusting and dirty he left his room before leaving for boot camp pack.
What?
For boot camp pack. For boot camp back when we 3 lived together in an apartment. Oh my goodness. Got there eventually. And whenever he would do that, I would have to clean it up, because I didn't want my mum to get mad and have an argument that usually turned into a violent breakout between them. And I also didn't want roaches again in the new apartment. I texted him basically saying how unacceptable that is. And the first thing he asked is if it was cleaned up and if anyone found out, which angered me.
Yeah, I don't really understand the found out situation, because then that suggests that you're like, it suggests that he knows it's wrong and is ashamed that it's there. But why not then just tidy it? You know, why leave it there?
Normal person would have apologized and then said they'd clean it up, rather than being more worried about anyone finding out. He then calls me, starts saying all this bullshit, and after this dumbass argument, he finally comes to the crib, puts it all in a trash bag, and then sits on the game without us exchanging words.
Honestly,
I
that's
was
probably
ready
better.
to leave it at that. But then my mum comes in, puts down the air mattress, and tells him we'll sleep on that for tonight, and I'll go back to sleeping on the bed. Mind you, I came here first from leave and was sleeping on the bed. But when he came back, I let him take it over while I was sleeping at my girlfriend's house. But since I was coming back to sleep there for New Year's and eat dinner with her, I was definitely taking my bed back just for the night. He replies to her, "I'm not doing shit." And I immediately stopped him in his tracks, telling him not to talk to her like that. And he tells me to shut the fuck up and went right back to arguing. What an ungrateful twat. Being that rude to his mum who's putting him up, age 19. I recorded all of it because he likes to try and get physical even though I'm way stronger than him, then tries to play victim when he gets his ass whooped and lies about what happens. Okay, I'm hoping that that's you using your extra strength for self-defense and never instigating physical violence, because that is just not an answer here. No. Anyway, he tried snatching the phone out of my hand and I told him not to touch me, and then he pushed me to the floor, so I got up and knocked the marine coins out of him, knocking him to the floor and breaking his glasses. Jesus, this between brothers.
They need to genuinely not be anywhere near each other. I am so fucking... I've got 4 siblings. I'm so lucky that they aren't pieces of shit. So, by the sounds of it, it's more frequent than I thought. I am so lucky I get on with all of them. Because, oh my God.
This is a very toxic environment.
Yeah, they need to
living on top of each other.
The brother needs to
in the middle of it
get
all
the
as well.
fuck
My
away
mum and her
from
roommates separated us
if he
quickly,
doesn't
and
like
they
him
were there
this
to
much.
witness it as well. This is just awful. And he left and fled back to our grandma's apartment.
There we go. Yeah.
For context on this part, our grandma and mum live in the same apartment complex, and at the start of the story, he was at our grandma's to play on the PS5 there. So essentially, my brother fought me because I told him to clean up his mess. I don't think I was in the wrong, but I don't know. Let me know if I was tweaking or what.
I don't think he was in the wrong, but it definitely did get to a point of, brother, just fucking answer their question. Like, he pissed me off in the end because he was trying to be so prideful about it and like, no, you answer my question. It's such shitty arguments, isn't it? I don't have any time for it. I really don't.
Yeah, this is
he's
a
not-
very
he's not in the
toxic
wrong.
environment you just need to get the hell out of. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, dumb, lazy, and disrespectful, him leaving trash everywhere in a room that he's supposed to be sharing that isn't even his, and way worse that it's food and drink. But the fact that it's been reduced to blows, that you were literally scrapping in the middle of the house in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Nightmare. I'd be asking my grandma, being like, Grandma, can I just stay in your apartment, please? I'm clean, I'll be tidy. This is what's going on at home. If you've got a spare room, I'd really appreciate it. And I mean, you'd think he'd be more disciplined being in the Air Force, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
What do the
innit?
comments say? Yes, they know it's your mess. End of conversation. I gotta say, if you just answered the question, even lied, you would have saved yourself this headache. That was what I was saying as we were going along. Just let it end. Even if you kind of let them win a bit by answering, it's not worth it. Yeah, I don't even understand OP's position. 6 of the 7 images are him just arguing with his brother about one question. The majority of this post is not about the mess at all, but if mum knows or not. Your brother is a disrespectful slob, keep shaming him. If he wants to live like a pig, he can do it on his own, but not with you or your mum. I mean, the brother seems to really care about whether other people in the house know it's his mess or not, and likes to duck shame. So I'd consider setting up a group with everyone in the house with it and go, oh, but wait, whose mess is this? I've just come home and there's food and drink things everywhere.
Again, to be fair, I say true. It just starts even more war. It's so unnecessary. Like, he knows that everyone knows. No, he doesn't, because the original poster never fucking answered the question. But he's gonna know that everyone knows. I think it's so unnecessary. But then, should you care that it's unnecessary? I don't know.
Whose is
I
it?
don't fucking know, man.
And everyone's gonna go, not me,
and
he's gonna go, oh, it's so embarrassing. I care so much about their opinions, and then finding out, oh, I'm not going to do that again. I mean, maybe it's hopeful, maybe it's wishful thinking.
I also just don't think it'll work. I don't think he'll either just leave the group or just never open it and never respond. Like, it's not going to do anything.
The try, I reckon.
It's just going to
worth a try with the grandma, or just saying to the girlfriend, like, can I just move in with you for a bit? I've literally just scrapped my brother. And also, I was going to say, we're making our mum sleep on the sofa. That shouldn't be a thing either.
Yeah,
These two guys should be
absolutely
putting up
not.
mattresses and living in the living room themselves, and leaving their mum to her own bed and bedroom. Why they're letting their poor old mother sleep on a sofa in the living room. 2 young army fit men can't firm it for the holidays so their mum can continue sleeping in her bed. And you're scrapping in front of her. You're kind of both nightmare roommates. Your
Yeah.
brother's just worse.
I don't really like either.
I just rented a new room and my landlord roommate had his dick out in the living room. What? I came home and walked into the living room and his dick was out and he was touching himself. What the hell? I moved in 2 days ago. I confronted him and he said he should have locked the front door, as the front door leads to the living room. He said he didn't know anyone was coming home.
So?
What should I do about this? Leave. This is oh my goodness, this is definitely a porn brain freak. Just being like, if she walks in and I'm stroking it, she's going to be
Oh
like,
my
oh
God.
no, I've just caught you in the act. That's so bad. You know what I mean? Like, can I give you a hand there? Not that I know that would be what a plot line in any kind of adult movie would be, having never watched one myself.
No,
But that's surely what's going on here. Because no one strokes it in the living room if you've got roommates, if you're not trying to get caught. And you know what as well? I bet it took him a lot of self-restraint to wait 2 days. Oh, and there's an update. Edit, I left it as day 3. Thank goodness. Luckily, I hadn't given my other landlord 30-day notice, as it seemed like a good place and I just moved. I just took my stuff and went back to the place I live at. Fair. What an unbelievably bizarre, traumatic side quest. It's day 2 and he's playing with his dick in your living room. Right, that's all the information you need, baby. Get off Reddit and pack your shit. Thank goodness they did. Leave. With roommates, you can never know who's coming or going. He shouldn't be doing that in a public space. It's not that he doesn't know who's coming or going and just hasn't contemplated it. I genuinely think this was on purpose.
I agree.
Here we go.
I do.
It is the third one. I was just about to say, surely someone else thinks this too. He knew exactly what he was doing. You need to leave. He's pushing boundaries really fast.
Like, I was going to say, 2 days in is mental. Any amount of days in is mental. But 2 days in...
Just bizarre.
Honestly, it's probably better that he did it 2 days in, and as she said, not after she'd given 30 days notice on the other place. Holy fuck.
But they're out. They made it. They did everything they need to do. Hopefully, they can just never look back. All right, that was a little freaky. What's up next? My shitty roommate started a GoFundMe. I'm not asking for donations.
Why? What?
Warning against it. Interesting. So I'm a disabled trans man living in this blue place. I'm no longer welcome in the house I've been in for the past decade. An eviction is unfortunately very likely and has already been threatened. I have no income, cannot work, cannot drive.
Oh wait,
and
hang on. Yeah, I was laughing at Arthur saying this blue place. This is fucked. What?
And has already been threatened. I have no income, cannot work, cannot drive, and I depend on blue state laws and Medicaid program to stay safe and healthy. I really don't want to have to leave this state or the care team I've established. I have a cat and a dog I need to be able to take with me. They're my emotional support animals and I need them to stay in my life. My mother is a recent divorcee, currently living in this other blue place. Her ex-husband, my former stepfather, was emotionally and financially abusive, restricting her freedom and manipulating her into doing what he wanted at every turn. He sabotaged her car, broke her things, and isolated her for years before she was finally able to divorce him. She got her breakaway from him after a domestic violent incident involving a gun where he was arrested. His sentencing is on the 14th. I mean, yeah, his mother has been through a lot. That's completely terrible. But what's that got to do with a fundraiser?
Well, that's awful. Obviously. But not...
Well, it's not relevant.
Well, it's not relevant, is it?
Okay, so why are
So
they
hang
warning
on,
against it?
I don't understand this. So this is the poster's roommate. I think this second sentence is the very, very, very important part. I'm no longer welcome in the house I've been in for the past decade. An eviction is unfortunately very likely and has already been threatened. Why are you, if you're no longer welcome because you have no income, I struggle to, it sucks, don't get me wrong. It big time sucks. That's not, fuck. Okay, this is hard. You can't just expect living accommodation for free though. You know, if it's a financial thing, I get it. It's fucking awful. But it's not on the landlord to then take up your rent by themselves because you don't have any income. And I get it. It's... God, this is awful. Okay. So if the GoFundMe is based around that, I sort of understand it. Now, I don't, would I ever do, I don't know if I'd ever do it. If people want to help and you're in the position where you need the help, I don't see any issue with doing it. But I feel like there's going to be more to it. I really want to know what makes them a shitty roommate. Because right now, they just seem to be in a very, very tough situation. But I'm imagining there's more to it.
I just need to vent because I'm irrationally angry about this. I just got to keep telling myself if he has the money, he'll leave. Even though I feel like he's scamming people. He's acting like he's the victim in the situation when really he's just facing the consequences of his own actions.
What are the actions?
I did think when I read I'm no longer welcome in the house I've been in for the past decade. An eviction is unfortunately very likely and has already been threatened. That given this was posted on Bad Roommates and is the top post of the month, that it might be his fault.
Right.
So let's find out
Here we
why.
go.
I bought a house with friends. Huge mistake, I know. Bought a house with friends. Wow. Almost a decade ago. We'll call them Ken and Rex, fake names. Cool names though. They sound like names I'd give to my friends if they were dinosaurs. We lived together prior to buying the house with no issues, but after we bought the house, they both completely stopped cleaning.
It's
or
always
taking care
about
of their
fucking
pets.
cleaning.
I did all of the cleaning for the first 2 years before I got burnt out and just started taking care of my own things. I'm basically confined to my room because the rest of the house is uninhabitable. Thank God I have my own bathroom. So I co-own the house with Ken. Rex was his fiance and lives with us for free. They're both a nightmare to live with. Rex is worse. Since we own and not rent, I thought I'd be stuck with them forever, but I finally have a chance to get them out of my house. Rex cheated on Ken. Oh my goodness. It's all kicking off. When Ken confronted him about it, Rex got mad and broke up with him. Wait, Rex cheated and when he got caught, got mad and broke up with Ken? I need to emphasize, Rex, a jobless parasite, dumped his partner of 11 years who pays for literally everything in his life. He threw a huge tantrum because Ken stopped paying for his online subscriptions after they broke up. Plus, he thinks he should just still be able to live here for free. And he was the one cheating. How unhinged and entitled is that?
All of our questions have been answered. You're no longer welcome because, yeah, you don't work, you don't pay your way, and it's not your house. It's your ex-fiance's house. Why would you want to still live there?
They're still sharing a room and not speaking to each other.
What?
So we both want Rex out of the house, obviously, but Ken is too much of a pushover to do anything about it. So I'm dealing with all the shit to legally evict him on my own. Ken told me back in August that he's been in touch with Rex's mum and she could take him in a couple of months. It's been 5 months and Rex has made zero effort to clean or pack anything. It's been 5 months. And not only are they living in the same house, they're living in the same room. He had the audacity to order more furniture when he's supposed to be downsizing and getting rid of shit. He's also got like 6 giant Amazon packages delivered to the house yesterday to add to this clutter. I finally got tired of waiting and served him an eviction notice last week. He had his mum contact me begging for more time, like I haven't already been waiting for nearly half a year. I'm giving them until the end of the month. Legally, I only have to give him 3 days since he doesn't pay rent, which is what I did on the original eviction notice. I'm being generous giving them until the end of the month. You are doing way more than most people would in this situation. The only thing Rex has done to get ready to move is start a GoFundMe. All he knows is how to take from other people. There's literally no accountability in his story, and I feel like he's deceiving people.
Yeah.
It's all woe is me. I'm being unjustly kicked out of my home for no reason. He's also been asking around online for someone to take him in, but not telling them what a fucking nightmare mess he is to live with. He's gonna ruin the lives of anyone he's a roommate to. He is one of the most selfish, entitled, inconsiderate people I have ever met. And people don't know that's what they're donating their money to support. Also, his mum is selling her house so they'll have money from that. I'm going to be stuck paying for all the repairs to my house myself. God knows none of their GoFundMe money will go towards fixing the damage Rex has done to my house. He lets his pets piss and shit all over the floors. He leaves a mountain of trash everywhere he goes. There's mice in the kitchen because he doesn't clean up or throw trash away. It's a fucking hoarder house and I don't want to live like this. Last time I told him to pick up his dog shit, he locked himself in the bathroom and cried. He's a 30-year-old man. That isn't a man, that's a man-child.
Jesus
I'm going to have to completely
fucking
replace the
Christ.
floors and subfloors in the whole house except my room. Probably the drywall too. I don't know if the smell or fecal bacteria absorbs into that. I haven't been able to use my kitchen in years. There's mouse shit on the counters and cabinets, plus the dog and cat waste on the floors, so I don't feel safe using anything in there. I cook in my room with an electric griddle and have a mini fridge. I'm going to have to completely gut the kitchen out once they both leave. Their bedroom/bathroom is also going to have to be completely gutted. I don't go in there, but I can smell it when I go in the basement to do laundry.
Jesus
Rex is ruining my
Christ.
life, and I'm never going to financially recover from this. I've already had my real estate agent come over, and she says my house is in unsellable condition because of the damage Ken and Rex have done. I would love to just sell the house, split the cash with Ken, and never see either of them ever again. And I can't even do that. I just want to be able to cook food in a kitchen and not live surrounded by the smell of piss and shit. I can't fix anything with Rex and Ken still living in the house. Ken will clean if I tell him to, but not of his own volition. And his cats have started shitting under the kitchen table after Rex just started keeping his dog locked in their room all the time. So I can't even replace the flooring until they're both gone. Ken wants to move out and live on his own, but that's a story for another post. Included a screenshot of Rex's GoFundMe, location and name censored, what he's done to the kitchen, dog poop I found under the fridge, and a spare bedroom he let his dog piss all over. Oh, the spare room as well. Oh my goodness, it's even worse than I imagined. By a long way. Oh, that's shit. That's old shit as well. Goodness knows what. Is that just furry dog poo? And isn't that one of those like silicone plastic chopping boards? This is awful, and that's the spare room.
Oh my
and it is
God.
just peppered with piss, shit, vomit stains, goodness knows what. Oh, this is making me sick just looking at it. Oh, you can report the GoFundMe and or do a $1 donation to copy and paste your
Yeah,
post.
that's what I was going to suggest. That it sucks putting money towards it, but just do whatever the fuck you can to make people aware of this, because Jesus, there is no because. Just fucking do it.
There's a comment. Did you choose Ken and Rex as a deliberate reference to Ken Rex McElroy, the man everyone hated so much they never solved his murder? No, but that's pretty funny. Ken needs to help with repairs. Take Rex to civil court and sue him. I cannot believe they let the kitchen get like that. It's disgusting. You could probably get someone to buy the house as it is, but you'd lose money on it. Yeah, I think this just needs industrial cleaners and professional exterminators to come in and just wipe the whole thing clean, because this is not a job anyone should have.
Vile. As Arthur said, I was expecting it to be bad, but this is genuinely beyond anything I could imagine. How can you live like that? Genuinely, how can you live like that? Like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes we have like a second, like a little plastic bag going to chuck some bits that don't quite fit in the rubbish bin at the moment, and I'll take down both bags at the same time. But oh my fucking God, how does it get to this point? And how are you okay with that?
To do for free for someone else. Wow, that is just so grim. It actually really just does. These videos make me appreciate so much just everything in life.
Yeah.
Just the fact that I can go next door and everything is clean and tidy. And that whatever any of my housemates have pissed me off with in the past, it is nothing compared with any of this. And that reminder to be mindful and appreciative.
I'm happy I've never had
is,
roommates.
I think, a nice way to end the video. So, if you enjoyed this episode of Bad Roommates and you want to see the next one, please feel free to subscribe down below if you haven't already. It's free. It only takes a second. I'd really appreciate it. And it means you can catch the next video as soon as it's out. Either way, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Boom. Holy shit, bull. Fuck, I missed it. Yeah, no, that's fucking gross, is what that was. Jesus Christ. Well, there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do make sure you leave a like down below. Subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.